Hi, Conscious Mothers. Second attempt. All right, I think I'm facing the right way. Tell me if you can see me, hear me. All the tech gremlins are cooperating. I am so excited to be here with you today, and this topic comes at a really divine time because I'm just finding that we're in such a weird limbo with really not knowing what's going to happen as states start to open back up, and I have a move coming in my life, and there's just so much uncertainty, and we've been saying that for months. There's so much uncertainty, and the topic on my mind, on my heart to share with you is has been coming up in so many, everyone really who I've been talking to lately. It's coming up with clients. It's coming up with women who are reaching out to me to have clarity calls. And the topic for today's training is how to overcome fear. And what a perfect time for us to tune into how to overcome fear. So it's an interesting teaching today, and I think you're really going to like it, because sometimes we don't even know that the reason why we're stuck is that we are investing in fear, or that we are kind of allowing and tolerating fear to have a hold on us. And I want to bring it into the light today with the intention that I've set already for all of you, which is that this will awaken your hearts to something you need to see. This will awaken your hearts and your minds to there being more for you. And just so that you know it's here for you, and you can open to it through just tuning in today. So say hi when you join me, and hopefully you can join me fully. And if not, then watch the replay back. So I will post the replay. Fingers crossed that will work. Sometimes it's beyond the things that I can control, but usually it works. So say hi when you come on. Yay, Courtney's here. I'm so excited that you're here, that you can join me. Who else is going to be joining me today? Tell me where you're watching from. You know my spiel about show up and participate, don't lurk, because when you participate and when you engage, then it is when you are taking that action that it opens you to receive. And there is a direct correlation. Passive learning versus active learning is a totally different level of commitment and investment, which results in deep rewards, rich rewards for us when we do that. Yay! Hi, Tara. Hi, Lori. Awesome. Okay, everybody's coming on now. So when you all join, send me some hearts or some, tell me where you're watching from, just to say hi. And I'll keep an eye on comments as we go, but we're going to dive in now. So today's topic again is how to overcome fear. And we're going to begin with describing what it's like when fear is in control of us instead of us being in control of our lives. Okay? So for a long time, I just want to say, if fear doesn't really strike a chord for you, that word, or you think I'm not afraid. For a long time, it didn't resonate for me. What I didn't realize was that in the areas that I was holding back in my life, I didn't realize that the things that I was allowing to stop me from moving toward what I wanted were actually rooted in fear. And the word is so big, and we just sort of don't often give a lot of credence to what it really means, and how threatening the unknown really is for us. And it's that uncertainty, it's that unknown. Hi, ladies, I love you all. I'm so glad you're here. Maria, Sarah, I saw you fly by. So we sort of hear fear and go, I'm not scared. I'm not afraid. But when you really start looking at your life, when you grow your awareness, when you expand your ability to kind of observe your experience, what you'll notice is that there are times for all of us that we hold back, that we dim our light, that we wait and watch, that we go, I don't think I can. I'm not ready. And all of that is where fear has a hold on us. Okay, so if you're at the beginning of your journey and you're just starting to develop your awareness of what's going on for you, what's holding you back, what has you stuck, what does being stuck feel like for you, then this is a really great talk for you too, even if you're at the beginning of noticing, because what you'll start to see is, oh, that's what she's talking about with fear, or I can recognize where I'm holding back now or limiting myself. So here's what happens for most people. And I've spoken to a lot of sort of like a string of women kind of in a similar place lately, which is that I have felt stuck for a long time. I'm in quicksand, or I'm drowning, or I'm trapped, or whatever the thing is, by anxiety, by not giving myself a choice, by not taking ownership of me. And I'm starting to see the domino effect in my kids. And I'm starting to see that money is scarce. And I'm starting to see that, or whatever the things are that come for you. I'm disconnected in my marriage. I don't know how to rebuild it. How did we get here? And then you look around and you go, how did this happen? How did I get here with kids who are hateful, and a career I'm not excited about, and all these fears of all these things? This doesn't feel like what I mean to be creating. And then instead of examining or reconnecting with you, because we don't know how, we skip over that and slide into self-doubt. And really just have a big sort of spiral that is a fear spiral that reinforces a deep underlying belief. And it will be something like, I don't know how, or I am failing, or they would be better off without me, or I'm just effing everything up. Everything I touch turns to poop. And so I'm going to tell you how we get there. Okay, let's start with that so that you can have some understanding about those times when you go, how did this happen? It's not that confusing. I'll tell you exactly how it happens, okay? And you'll like this, because having this understanding and awareness will help you to empower yourself, to see yourself from a new perspective, and to shift your perception. So the first piece, are you still with me? Tell me if you're still with me. If you're with me, give me a hand raise, give me a thumbs up. I think the thumbs up is coming faster than the comments. So if you're still with me, then how you got there to that point of like, what the heck is going on? Okay, thanks, Sarah. Great. Oh, yay. Hi, Leora. So what we're doing mostly is avoiding what we know to be true, that deep feeling in the gut, that or sometimes it's like the intuitive voice or voice of God, or that still small voice inside, or your higher self tapping you on the shoulder. We are avoiding that. We're numbing it out. We are, or we hear it and we're just resisting what it says, because we have a lot of ideas that the ego, that the mind comes up with, the brain comes up with from our past, and it will argue with us, and it will say, that's going to be way too much work, or, but I don't know how. I don't know the 10 steps between here and there, so I can't begin. I can't start. I can't trust that this voice is really going to lead me and guide me, because there have been so many failures in the past. Or I can't do this because of my past. And I can't do that because something from my past says da 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 da. Okay? I mean, can you really hear the theme here? It's like, if you've lived it before, you've stacked that evidence, and you've decided that because of that, then this can't happen or exist or get better, or you won't know how. Okay, so we do that dance, and it all is based in fear. All of those thoughts are fear-based. They sound like self-doubt. They sound like not believing in ourselves, not believing in our in our higher power, in God, in anything that's here to support us, not believing we can succeed. So we avoid the voice, or we hear it, we resist it, we argue with it. We try to talk ourselves out of what we know we need to do, or what we know to be true. And also, we get busy blaming everyone else for why it's hard. We blame our kids for not listening. That's an interesting one. I can give a whole talk on that on a separate day. We blame our kids for not listening to us. Why do we do that? Why don't we make sure that we're heard? Why don't we believe in ourselves? Why don't we own what we say? Why don't we own the truth of what we say? Why don't we own the importance of it being an important message for our kids to hear? That's the problem. The problem is not that they don't listen, or don't hear us, or don't respect what we say. It's we don't. We're not owning it. We're not believing what we say. We're not believing that they need to hear it and that we know best for our kids. Anyway, that's a talk for another day. But we also then beat ourselves up. We beat ourselves up for the cycle that we stay in when we're stuck. Have you been there? Raise your hand if you've been there, where you know you want to be free of something, where you want to take ownership of something, but you don't know how, so you're beating yourself up for that. Or you can't do it alone, and so you're beating yourself up for that, right? Have you ever done that? And then what happens? What's the result? Does anything change for the better in your life? Or do you just get into that tail chasing cycle of beating yourself up further and going down the rabbit hole of now blaming yourself for not being able to heal yourself of anxiety or to create better relationships within your families, right? Think about that. So there's a nice little background show going on behind me for any of you who are bored with this talk. You can see the fetch happening. That's my Speedy Border Collie and my husband somewhere back there. So, all right, those are the things we do, and we do them year in, year out, day in, day out. And then years pass and kids are 10 and 12 and we go, how did I get into this mess? How did I create this? And sometimes we make the mistake of going, all these things happened to me and I shouldn't have chosen that partner because he or she haven't been supportive, and if I'd not taken that path, if I'd not passed up that opportunity, then I wouldn't be here. Again, don't fall for it. That's just the tail chasing pattern of beating yourself up. And guess what? It's all from the past. None of it's helpful, and none of it is even relevant. None of it is relevant to your healing and to what you're going to be able to call in next. You have to stop flowing so much attention to the past and to the stuckness in order to get out of it. You have to be willing to fill up with something new. Okay, so what we want to really notice through this talk, and the intention today is to help you all to shift your perspective and look with new eyes at where in your life you can sort of boil the stuckness down to, that's just because of fear. I've been buying into fear. I've been investing in fear. Okay, so can't even read my own notes on this. What did I say? Not doing. Can't even read my own notes. Okay. No, this is good. I wrote this in a massive brainstorm yesterday. So the actions that we take from fear look like doing, overthinking, overdoing, trying to sit with our kids, but like, well, I got to do this, this, and this, and this. I can't be present. I can't enjoy it. And oh my God, you guys, like they're just only going to be this age for just today. Today, that's it. And if you miss it, it's gone. And you have another chance tomorrow, but not if you're dragging the past in with you and trying to think in the same ways and trying to ping pong in your brain and overthinking and overanalyzing and wrestling with yourself and beating yourself up. If you're still using all of those old systems, then tomorrow will not be any different. It will be equally as frustrating. So you got to be willing to slow it down enough to go like, I am living the past over and over again. And Joe Dispenza talks about this all the time. Yeah, our future worry, Marty, is reliving the past. It's kind of paradoxical and counterintuitive, but basically when you are worrying about bad things happening at another time, which we tell ourselves is the future, or could be in 5 minutes, could be tomorrow, or in 10 years, how's this kid going to grow up and live in the world? How are they going to be functional in the world when life is such a disaster now because I don't know how to parent them, this spirited kid with consistency, or this kid who has a diagnosis of oppositional defiant disorder and is on 3 medications, and I don't know what the future is going to look like. When you're in that thought loop-de-doop and you are stressing about that all the time, you're just producing stress hormones all the time. So that's what you're practicing, right? We're producing stress hormones. We're putting worry into our future. We are feeding the stories of destruction. We're feeding the stories of our children not thriving, of them struggling, and therefore we are creating struggle. Does that make sense? So we're just creating struggle. There's nothing else in that mix. And we've got to be conscious of that, because we've got to be careful about that, because we think that we're somehow solving a problem by flowing worry and energy to struggle, but there's nothing being solved there. There's nothing being solved. The only thing that's happening is that we're buying into the story that we've got to overthink about it so we can prevent danger. But really, just really encourage you to take a big step back and see if that works. Just see if that works. Because what you'll see is you feel afraid. You can listen to your body. You feel afraid. You feel constricted, or you feel angry, or your mind is sort of preoccupied, so you're not present. That's the cost of all of that. Not to mention what really happens for your kiddos in the future, right? So what we want is to see them thriving. So we got to shift, and we got to flow energy to that. Meaning you got to rewire some stuff internally to be able to align with that. So, all right. So what we do, so the behaviors that come out of fear, I'm checking my timing because I got a husband who's going to be expecting me to finish on time. He's got somewhere to go today. So we're either overdoing, we're not being present, or we're reacting. We're reacting to other people instead of setting our own tone, instead of making our own decisions. We're just kind of sitting back, not taking action, and then we're reacting to other people who are taking action. Like, oh my gosh, that's crazy making, isn't it? The other thing that people do is try to figure it out. We know that doesn't work. Or they try to, we rush to fix it. We rush to fix it, right? Like rushing. The whole thing about rushing comes from a lack and scarcity model. It comes from way deep down, just feeling like, I am not enough. This is not enough for me. There isn't enough here. I better hurry. This is gonna crash and burn. Catastrophic thinking, worry, fear-based thinking. I better hurry. I better fix it. I better rush and do this and rush and do that. And there's no presence in rushing, so there can be no joy. There can be no joy without presence, other than a fleeting, reactive reaction to like a life circumstance. So a moment of lightness, a moment of fleeting happiness. It's just fleeting unless we've really connected with it from within. So Marty, I see your question here. Focus on what good can come instead of the worry about the bad that can happen. That's a good start. Yeah, it's a good start. So to shift your focus, and you have power over your focus. You can focus on whatever you choose. And what you're going to run into is a bunch of barriers that need to be released, and that's okay. That's good. Just be with that, and then that's a piece everybody needs help with, to move those barriers. So, all right, that's the first piece. The second piece is the formula. So what do we do about this? So how do I understand what it means to unhook from fear? Right? Like, it feels so impossible. It feels so overwhelming. This is how my parents did it. This is how their parents did it. This is the marriage dynamic I've been practicing for 20 years. Or this is just sort of the vibe that my body's addicted to for so many of us, right? Physiologically, we're in fear a lot. The body's in fight or flight. We're amped up. We don't know the way out. And so I'm just breaking it down in a really simple way today. So in order to be able to unhook from fear, to overcome a life dominated by fear, to clear out the fear in your body, in your thoughts, and in the emotions that come from those, we have to be able to get clear We have to be able to just clear that clutter, the drama, and the brain fog. And we can't do that by force or by overthinking about it. We can't do that. So I'm going to tell you what to do. In order to free yourself of fear, the simplest way I can explain this is you have to know what you want. Okay? You have to know what you want. And lately, I've been talking a lot about this and teaching a lot about this. We're getting closer and closer, sort of circling the center of this, which is like, what do you want? And can you let your heart's desires be known to you? Can you open to receive them? Can you open to the divinely guided impulses that you feel? Can you see yourself in a positive light? Can you believe that there's goodness in you? Okay, so in order to know what you want, you have to know what you don't want. And most of us are there. Most people stuck in fear and anxiety, in overwhelm, are only pretty much aware of, I'd say like 95%, we're more aware of knowing what we don't want or don't like. I could say it either way. I don't want to keep doing this anymore. I can't keep going on like this. I can't keep struggling like that. So it sounds like I'm so sick of being sick of this. I can't stand to live this story day in, day out. This reality is not what I want, right? So we're aware of what we don't want. And there's a very simple trick. The trick to knowing what you do want is by noticing what you don't want. Okay? It's a very simple process of elimination. So I'll give you an example. I am so over the drama. I'm so over the drama in my family. I'm sick of kids pushing back. I'm sick of feeling inner turmoil about it. I'm tired of feeling like it's a struggle to hold a boundary. I am sick of that piling up on top of each other that happens in the power struggle in trying to co-parent or be a united front. Done with all of that. So raise your hand if you've ever been there before. Any of you ever had that moment where you just are like, this is not working. This is not working. Okay? And maybe you haven't hit that wall, but you've had the tail chasing. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, this isn't working. Oh my God, what am I going to do? This is totally making me have a panic attack. If you've been there and you're living that day in, day out, I encourage you to put both feet on the ground, take a deep breath, put your hand over your heart and say, this is not working. That is an okay thing to say because nothing can change without our decision. Nothing will change without you making a decision about yourself, about your life. Nothing will ever change. It will never magically get better. Your kids will not magically grow into beautiful beings who respect and love you until you create that change. Okay? So you got to make a decision and go, this sucks, no more. Like that is, I'm not gonna keep creating that day in, day out. That doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for us. That's it. Be the leader for your family. Stand up for yourself and your family and say, that is beneath us. We're not doing that anymore. Okay? Okay, start there. Just gonna tell you what to do. Start there. All right, and then when you notice what you don't want, then you ask, what is it? What do I want? I know I don't want this, so what do I want? Well, how does it look if we're drama-free? Oh my God, it's delightful. It's delightful. It's relaxed. People kind of naturally have more fun. There are more dance parties. There's a lot more laughter. A lot more laughter. Easygoing laughter. You know, you can't laugh when you're constricted. Nothing's funny. Everything pisses you off. But when you're relaxed, things are funny again. And you might even look at your partner across the room and go, oh my God, oh yeah, I remember. Why? He was cute to me. That's right. You know, the lightness and the freedom come in and you feel spaciousness inside. And when you feel spacious inside, everybody in the house chills out. Everybody relaxes because everyone starts to feel themselves. Okay? So you begin to imagine what you want. Play with that and get clear on that and imagine what you want. And then, so once you've recognized what you don't want, then You have to be courageous enough, and this is plucking from our last few videos. You have to claim the courage. Claim it for yourself. It's not something you have to create. It's already here. It's everywhere. It's all around us. It's in us. It's here already. You just forgot. That's all it is. So claim it. I claim the courage to notice what I feel, to notice the negative, to notice what I want, to notice what's working for me, to notice what's not working for me based on how I feel. Not what I'm thinking. Not the negative thoughts, the belief patterns, the past rehearsals, not that, but how I'm feeling, okay? If you feel like crap, something is not working for you, right? It's obvious. So claim the courage to notice that and to let yourself feel it. This isn't working, right? Just be upfront about that. And then when you notice what you feel, it does take courage to let yourself experience it. All right? What we normally do, what you've been doing for decades in an old habitual pattern, is avoiding, resisting, squishing it down, changing your mind about it, overthinking about it, diving out of the feeling to try to fix it, to try to solve it, to try to blame everyone else because of it. None of that is letting yourself have the experience. Okay, nothing can change until we let ourselves realize where we are and let ourselves feel our experience and where we are. Where we are. And then we go, how did I get here? It's okay. I got here because of all these ways that I've been telling you today. I got here because I'm in a habit of resisting because I don't understand how to connect with joy. It's all okay. It's all okay. We're in a massive shift right now, a massive shift from old paradigm to new paradigm where women are waking up, our hearts are awakening to this idea that we don't have to always take care of the whole constellation of everybody and not including us, and prioritize all of them and tap into and feel what everyone else is feeling without noticing ourselves. We're in a shift to divine love, a much higher way of love and care, a much stronger and more empowered way of creating health for all. And it begins with us. It begins with us, and it feels so good. It feels so good to watch my whole family access more joy because I'm doing this work. It feels delicious. And my clients say it and experience it and feel it all the time too. It's just a beautiful thing. So it is here for you too. There is, it's not just, I wrote this in the post this week. It's like, there's nothing special about me. I mean, I've been through some really dark moments, some really hard times that lasted way longer than I wish they had, but it cracked everything open for me. So I've just had a whole lot of learning. And now I'm just passionate about you feeling as good as I feel too. So, okay, I'm going to review the formula really quick. In order to know what you do want, you have to know what you don't. You get there from that. So, I don't like that. I don't want it. Don't stay there. Just go be courageous. Like, I'm going to feel how rotten this feels. This sucks, right? And now what do I want? I'm going to open to that. And I'm going to be courageous enough to let myself experience how stuck I feel so that I can open to more. I know those stories are BS. We have to tell ourselves that. I know those stories are BS that say there's nothing more for me, or I can't have it, or I don't get to have that, or I just have to focus on everyone else and I don't get to do me. I mean, it's all BS. And you can keep buying into that, but if you do, you know that you'll just get the same result. So if that is working for you, then you need to stay there. If it isn't working for you, then you have a choice about if you want to move out of that or not. So be courageous enough to let yourself experience where you are and the reality of that in order to see what you're wanting instead, okay? And then just gonna bring it all home with this last piece, which is I had a huge aha moment in the last couple of weeks with listening to my program graduates talk, when listening to women on their final call of Awakened Motherhood, when we're meeting and celebrating them and their amazing accomplishments and progress, in contrast to like being on a clarity call with someone who's still in the stuckness of 3 years now of helping women to sort out where they're stuck and what has them, and sharing with them like, this is why you're stuck there. And it just, everything kind of coalesced into one moment of big clarity for me, and the light bulb went off, and I thought, oh my God, I just heard the language. I heard the words. What we will often, there's a huge distinction here. What we will often say when we want to move out of fear, when we feel stuck in fear, is, I can't keep doing this. I just can't. So I know something has to change. Listen to the energy of those words. I can't stay where I am. I can't keep doing the struggle. I can't let this go on. I can't do this to my kids. I can't get divorced. I can't afford to get divorced. I can't afford 80 grand for a divorce. Average cost of divorce, you guys, is 80 grand. I can't afford 80 grand for a divorce. And then I can't afford the cost of 2 households. And I just can't let go of my kids for half the time, because I know the deal is usually 50-50 shared. So I can't. Listen to those words. I can't do it. What do you hear there? Do you hear do you hear something that feels strong, deliberate, intentional, conscious, empowered? Or do you hear disconnect from power? Do you hear, I didn't hear it for a long, long time until I started started asking my clients of my Awakened Motherhood, beautiful, now friends, clients, just started asking them, what enabled you? Why did you choose to change your life? What enabled you to say yes to coming to work with me? Like, what was it? So many people wobble or wait, or they don't have that certainty, or they're just, the fear is so big. The fear outweighs the belief that it can be better, or the ability to trust themselves. Yes, you guys are on the right track with this. The I can't language, it's constrictive, sounds helpless, it's a negative, it's problem-based, it's fear-based. It's fear-based language. I can't. Okay? I can't stay here. It's like, I gotta escape this. I gotta escape what's so hard. Can't keep doing the hard. There's something very subtle about that, but it is not empowered language, right? And what I started hearing women say, and beautiful Gabriella shared this recently, and she said, this is a real huge moment for me, and thank you, Gabriella. She said, I just knew that I was not willing to stay in that struggle. I wasn't willing to keep letting it be so hard. I knew I was the one choosing it, and that I was allowing things to be this hard. I was engaging in the struggle. And so instead of I can't, she said, I won't. That blew me away. I won't. I will not. And when you tune into that in your body, it's, I can't, it's just like, oh my God, the noose is around your neck. I won't is here. It's here. I won't. I won't. Feel that in your body. Just say, I won't. I will not do this anymore. Boom. It's in the solar plexus. It's right in the middle, in between your heart and your belly. It's just a total certainty. It is a defiant statement to fear. It is, I will not buy into that fear anymore, right? Okay, I told you he was going to come looking for me. That's my husband's very not so subtle way of saying, when the hell are you going to get off the thing? Okay, and so, it's the difference between I can't and I won't allow this. I will not continue, and I will not let my family be damaged. All right. So in their words, in my beautiful clients' words, they said, I'm not willing to keep feeling this way and keep doing this to my kids. Right. So there it is. And that is what we're going to close on. So fear, I know you guys are laughing now at that. Anyways, I do have to go now, but I just want to leave you with just the most critical piece of this, which is in whatever pockets of your life you have allowed the fear, if you catch yourself really letting that fear drive you and you are not making decisions because of it, just know that's old paradigm. It's the past trying to trick you into believing that you can't have a more expansive life, and you can. And so call that out. Be courageous enough to listen to the way you feel and stand for what you want. Discover what you want. And if you need help with that piece, reach out to me. Clarity calls are a beautiful experience where I will listen and help you to peel the layer to your truth. What is it that has you stuck? And if you want help, then reach out to me, because we can't sort this through on our own. We just can't. We just need reflection. We need holding. We need containing. We need love. And we need wisdom and expertise at every juncture where we get stuck. So I'm here for you, and I love you. Please tell me what if anything, was helpful for you here. And please reach out if you need to. You can book a call with me on my calendar. You can PM me, hit me up with questions here, drop the comments in. So yeah, I see your comment, Tara. The fear is so big. And again, just notice that story. It's a story that the fear is so much bigger than my courage. You know, start practicing really connecting with your courage and knowing that anything that our hearts desire reflects to us, we can have. Okay, love you all, and can't wait to see you next time. Drop your comments below, and still share the event post so people can come into the group and watch the replay. Okay, share the love, share the love. Let's grow this group to like 10,000. Let's do it. Just bring your mamas, share the things. Let's help more women. Let's help more moms. Okay, love you. Have a great day.